Clash Royale. It's a pretty old game and a lot of us have made some pretty good memories over the years. Because of this, depending on when you started playing, a lot of us consider 1 year when Clash Royale was at its best. There's no right or wrong answer, and more often than not, nostalgia is a major key factor, but I'm gonna be ranking it anyways. This will be based on my opinion. Feel free to comment below any adjustments you would have made. Before we start though, I want to address the elephant in the room. This year, 2023. Because it is not a complete year, it wouldn't be fair to rank it, so I won't, but I'll leave where I think I'd put it in the comment section below. Anyways, let's get right into it.
Let's do this.
Coming in at number 7, we have 2020. The biggest feature, without an S, was Clan Wars 2.0. Yeah, that's it. The first 8 months of 2020 was purely focused on seasons with no real content, and having teased Clan Wars 2.0 very early into the year, players were waiting for months. Whether this was intentional or not, it certainly overhyped what was about to come, and unless it was exceptionally good, everyone was gonna be pissed off. Unfortunately, the update was not what everyone thought it was gonna be. Clan Wars 2 was fundamentally broken with tons of issues, and really the team said it better themselves. They missed the mark. They had turned a previously super casual and fun game mode into an overly complicated mess that was riddled with issues. Besides seasons, 2 more updates followed that year that were really just fixes for the new Clan Wars system. They also got rid of quests because they promised with Clan Wars 2.0 there would be much better rewards, all for free. However, because it was tied to Clan Wars 2, a lot of players hated that decision as well. I really believe this is not how the team expected the year to go, and they spent a lot of time trying to clean up the mess, which resulted in very little time to focus on other better features that we may have potentially missed out on that year. And it's really sad because in 2020, a lot of us were at home bored as f, and for some of us, our favorite game was just going downhill. Overall, 2020 definitely the worst year in my opinion. At number 6, we have 2022. The biggest feature that year were Masteries, Supercards, Battle Banners, and Path of Legends. So the year started off with season 31 to 33 and we saw the first super card. As far as I remember, it wasn't terrible. I didn't really pay attention to the super cards, to be honest. But yeah, it was an okay start to the year. Masteries were the first major addition and I'm not gonna lie, it slapped. I enjoyed Masteries because it gave me a different kind of grind. Now you can simply play and get rewards for using different cards that you previously didn't care to use. Later in June, we got battle banners and a profile redesign. Banners are cool and they were at first, but man, this really shouldn't have been its own update. It's so insignificant to the actual game. And plus, ever since the addition of them, Supercell has been milking the shit out of it. Honestly, I didn't really know what I expected either. In all honesty, this update seemed like just another way to monetize the game and a distraction from the lack of content that year. Then, the Q3 update. King levels were reworked, daily task, hockey bank, champion chest, a new magic item, Path of Legends, and of course, everyone's favorite 2 cards, the Phoenix and the Monk. I think this was actually a good update, making ladder its own separate thing to make room for the Path of Legends, which was supposed to be a more competitive ranked mode. It's dope, and it led me to play ladder a little more. But man, I don't know, I just feel like 2022 didn't have that wow factor. Nothing that really had me captivated, you know what I mean? Once again, most of the year was soaked up by seasons back to back, and half the stuff added nobody cared about. However, that doesn't mean it was a bad year. It's just where I would rank it. I just think there were far better years to be playing Clash Royale. At number 5, we have 2019. The biggest features this year were Trophy Road, Seasons, the Party Button, and some gameplay changes. Man, what a drastically different year from the others. 2019 had an okay start. At the beginning of the year, we got a new arena, a new card, and a few new game modes. All of that kept everyone happy for a bit. sort of. And in mid-April, we got the Trophy Road update along with more cards and more game modes, and actually this update was pretty sweet. There's no doubt that Trophy Road really gave everyone a reason to push, and even though they got rid of the season chests, personally I prefer Trophy Road over just one chest a season. And then Pass Royale in the middle of summer. This was hype. Whether you were buying it or not, everyone was going crazy over it. The initial reaction to Pass Royale was actually pretty good. Better than other games when they announced the season pass, and the reason for that is just that it was cheap and definitely worth it. And even if you weren't buying it, the free side of the pass was yet another thing to grind, and plus, tower skins and emotes. Who doesn't want cool exclusive shit? In my opinion, 2019's Pass Royale was peak. At the end of September that year, we got the party button, more game modes to earn tons of crowns from, and they even added a bonus bag. And finally, in November, we got some changes to how matches work, along with a pretty sweet looking card info screen. Overall, 2019 was very focused on gameplay, and honestly, I don't have many complaints about that year. It was genuinely a fun time to be playing. The only thing I can say is that it would have ranked higher if there was more big updates. Trophy Road, Pass Royale, and the party button literally carried the entire year. And that's okay because they were banger updates. But there's just been other years that deserve to be higher than 2019 where we got more crazy and fun stuff. Next up at number 4 is 2016. The biggest features this year were tournaments, clan chests, tons of cards, including a new rarity, legendary, and challenges. This year started out pretty strong when it was soft launched, of course. We were constantly getting new cards and arenas left and right, and every update was packed to the brim with quality of life improvements and basic necessities like multiple deck slots. This was essential because they were getting the game ready for global launch, ironing out all those issues and quirks from the beta, and boy did they do a pretty solid job. Clash Royale was insanely popular, probably more popular than you think or remember. After global launch, the game was going strong, a lot of more cards and small additions here and there, but the first bad update in Clash Royale history was in its first year. The additions of tournaments was cool and piqued everyone's interest, but they turned out to be too expensive if you wanted any decent rewards, and it was also like impossible to get into any unless you knew a person who hosted it or started one yourself. Unfortunately, this will result in a noticeable drop in interest, and it didn't help that the game was also facing tons of progression and balancing issues at that point. Luckily, the game would drastically improve as later that year we got challenges, the legendary and epic chests, achievements, and special event challenges that allowed players to obtain free legendaries. And finally, that year ended off with more cards, Epic Sunday, and the clan chests. However, the clan chest was at the very end of 2016 and had some issues, so I wouldn't really consider it a highlight of 2016. That goes to 2017. But anyways, overall, this year was packed with essential features that shaped the game as we know it today. With all that being said, despite its many flaws, it was hella fun. There will never be another first year of Clash Royale again. You can never re-experience it for the first time. And you seriously had to be there to know the amount of hype around it. If you know, you know. It is by far one of my favorite years in Clash Royale. Moving on to number 3 is 2021. The biggest features this year were magic items, champions, level 14, new chest, and progression changes. If I were to show you this graph of the interest of Clash Royale since 2016, where do you think 2021 sits? It's gotta be one of those drops down there somewhere, right? Well, you'd be wrong. It would be this massive spike. Clash Royale really pulled a 180 in 2021, and it all started with magic items. Magic items solved a fundamental issue that the game had been facing for years at that point, which was that for newer players getting into the game, it seemed overwhelmingly impossible to ever reach a decently high level without gems. Over the years, they kept adding more and more cards and failed to properly scale progression. But it seems the Clash Royale team learned from its bigger brother, Clash of Clans. magic items alone pumped life back into a dying game, and the community was thriving. It was such a perfect time to start playing Clash Royale once again. Later that summer, they aimed to further help progression with gold crates, a bigger bonus bank, and tons of quality of life improvements that the community had been asking for a while. And then finally, the last big update of 2022 was level 14 champions. They reduced the cards and gold needed for some upgrades. Star levels were made available at level 6, and a small but cool addition, the King's Journey. Sure, there were some issues like champions being way too powerful and impossible to get, and the whole Slash Royale fiasco, but 2021 was filled with updates that helped the casual player a lot. And there was just a lot of good done in this year, and it's pretty clear the team was trying their best. I would say that 2021 was a good time to be playing. So now we're down to the last two. This was hard. I loved both years, and I just want to say that no matter which one I pick as number one, I will always see 2017 and 18 as the good old days in my eyes. Part of that may be nostalgia, but it is also what made up those years. If I could, I'd prefer not to pick my favorite out of these two, but for the sake of doing this video properly, I'm going to anyways. Starting with number 2, 2018. The biggest features this year were clan wars, emotes, trading, start points, and global tournaments. The year had somewhat of a slow start because the clan wars update kept getting delayed. Did it deliver though? Absolutely. Even though the clan wars would replace the clan chest, which we would all miss later on, the original clan wars was lots of fun. It was super casual, easy to understand, and had decent rewards. And for the majority, if not all of 2018, it kept me playing the game. The update was also filled with other small additions, and later in the summer, another update would drop for emotes and more improvements. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that emotes has changed the game. Players had been asking for more emotes since the game came out, and I think they nailed it. It was also the first thing that we could all collect and show off, like a collection. Later down the road, we would get the ability to trade, clan war improvements, and then finally the end of the year update, star points for the higher level players. Finally, something more to grind for that wasn't levels. And the skins were badass. And then global tournaments. I don't know what to say, global tournaments is hella fun. The rewards were loaded as far as I remember, and everyone was competing to see how high they can go. It was hella hype. 2018 was filled with content that just had me coming back every time, and that's why it's so high on my list. It was just such a great year, and I wish there were more years like 2018. And finally, at number 1 is 2017. The biggest features this year were leagues, draft chests, 2v2, new arena, new challenges, quests, touchdown, new chests, and tons of quality of life improvements that further shaped the game as we know it today. Where do I start? So first, remember clan chests added at the end of 2016 and it had some issues? Well, the clan chest received some changes this year, and while it lasted, the clan chest was so much fun. It makes me mad that they just got rid of it. Like, why? Why do we need to keep replacing things? Imagine Civilization if the game still had a clan chest. Anyways, yeah, clan chests, loads of fun, good rewards, simple. It was perfect. We also got leagues, so now everyone after 4K wasn't in one giant league. We got the draft chest after every season reset, one of the most goated chests. And back to the clan chest, we got another variation of it called clan battles. Basically the same thing, but it was with this new game mode called 2v2. I don't even think I need to explain how much of an impact 2v2 has had in this game, and it's personally my favorite game mode of all time. Without 2v2, I probably would have quit this game a long time ago. They just kept improving 2v2 as well. Like, we got new game modes for it, and man, it was a good time to be alive playing Clash Royale. The year wasn't perfect though, and to be real, none of them have. They did something called the Summer of 2v2, where instead of it being temporary for clan battles, we got to play it for a whole month. Shortly after that, the game got no content, and it was a little stale, but to me, far from boring. Later on, we got the quest update, which also introduced touchdown. Quests provided me more things to do in the game, and it only made me play more. And touchdown, it had its issues, it was overhyped, but at the end of the day, it was fun. To wrap the year up, we got one last update, probably the smallest, but the chests in the shop got a much needed upgrade, and the new chests were arguably miles better than the old ones. I could go on and on about 2017, but I feel like I've hit all the major additions. Yes, if I could go back in time to a year of Clash Royale, it would be 2017. In conclusion, that is my list of where I would rank every year. This is very different from my Clash of Clans video, and that one I preferred modern day COC over the old days, but for Clash Royale I have a vastly different opinion, and I think it's pretty obvious why. And I don't think I'm alone here. I really hope this game goes in the right direction in 2023. There's still some time left to better the game, and even 2024 and 25. With that being said, let me know where you would have ranked these years. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Havoc Gaming out. Peace!